What's up, guys? Hope we're all doing well. I have a little time driving in the car. Definitely should have been doing this more on my way from Ohio Northern to Columbus. If anybody takes that drive, it's a decent bit. I used to do that a lot through my last job, and I should have been doing some of this kind of stuff. Try to get creative with it. But yeah, just a little drive and talk. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the industry, strength conditioning, exercise science, and specifically navigating working with youth athletes and their parents. It's something that's been irritating me a little bit more recently, is just working with these parents and having them try to understand what their 10 to 12 year old needs. And it's hard to break it to some of them because they think that they need all this very specific training for their soccer player, for whatever, or they really need to work on running form, because running form is the thing that's going to take them to the next step and make them sprint faster and make them be the athlete that their parents want them to be. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. That's it's full of shit. And you see a lot of stuff on Instagram, whatever, social media, that, oh, these running form things, if you do these 3 drills, you're going to be the next top star or whatever. These are the things that are going to make you faster. And a lot of the time, these kids have never touched a weight in their life. They're so weak, okay? That's the first step, right? We are trying to build confidence there and build strength there. They won't get true strength gains, right? But they'll get neuromuscular gains, okay? And what that means is basically like it's a muscle memory thing. And they can get stronger from doing things over and over again. And then when puberty hits, boom, it goes in a wave, right? And then they get super strong. Everything comes into play, right? And I would say your body is a system and everything works in systems. So if I can get you stronger, or I can get the repetitions of strength there. Let's say I'm doing a sled, for example. I'm pushing a heavy sled. That is going to transfer way more than me doing high knees. And I'm not saying high knees is something that I don't use. We use high knees every day. But something that's producing force in the ground and then pushing it in the same force, right? We're going horizontally now, pushing in the same way that you're going to do running. Okay, those are 2 things that I would say that's as specific as we can get to getting you faster, is doing sled work and doing hill work and that kind of stuff, where you're going through the same horizontal forces and we're still producing a lot of force in the ground and those kind of things. So the biggest thing too is like that. And if we want these kids to be more athletic, and they're not just going to be track stars, we're not just going to train them, they run faster. We need to build an athletic base. We need to work on change of direction. We need to work on cutting. We need to work on retreating, backpedaling, reacting to people, right? Because that's all that sports are. And that can get lost when you've done all these drills, okay? And now we need to work on reactivity and chaos. So I might throw in a game. I might throw in football. I might throw in dodgeball. I might throw in ghetto ball, which is ghetto ball is a game from Kurt Hester, a great game. But yeah, it's one of those things that to you it looks like they're just playing, but you don't understand that they need these components to keep getting better and being athletic. And that's a conversation about goals as well. Like what are the goals for a 10-year-old? Are the goals for a 10-year-old very like simple, like faster, stronger, more athletic? And if that's the case, then we should be doing all those things. They need to be strength training. They need to be playing outside. And if you're not playing outside, you're paying me to do that. So if you get upset with me that I'm playing games with your kids, maybe you should look in the mirror and say, hey, I should be playing games with my kids. Long-winded answer there. Just something that's been bothering me a little bit, but yeah, I think that's something that's lost. And kids playing and going outside, I'll tell you what, the kids that come in and they've been playing outside or competing and just having like free play. Those kids are always faster than the kids that are very strict to, all right, we're going to come to this session, you're going to work for an hour, and then you're done. And then you're playing video games all day, or you have to go to your very regimented and structured practices, and there's no room for that free play stuff. Those kids that have all of that creativeness from just being able to do that stuff on their own are 100 times faster and 100 times more athletic. So thanks if you got all the way through the end here. Like, subscribe, and keep following the podcast. And yeah, we're going to see, and we're going to keep trying to do a couple more of these. See you guys on the flip.